Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Amanda and today we are here with another video. This is sort of a studio vlog, but I am voice overing what I'm doing because I want to make sure that I get the point across. I have come up with 10 steps to reset your creativity. If you didn't know, after my shop launch I kind of got into a sort of downer, I would say, about my art, and I just don't feel like creating, and also life things kind of getting in the way and me not feeling 100% sort of fizzled out my will to create. So I thought that maybe doing some things and sharing them with you would help me get this creativity back. So step number 1 is to tidy and clean everything. It doesn't just have to be your studio space, and I know a lot of people that listen or watch these videos live with their parents or live with other people. Maybe get them to help you to just make sure that the house that you live in is completely clean and clutter free, if you don't like clutter, and just clean everything, because it does really help boost your productiveness, your creativity, and your will to just be able to sit down and shut off your mind from anything else that's in the back of your head saying, oh, I need to do the laundry, or oh, I need to do the dishes, or I need to clean this, or this task is weighing on my mind. And it really does help. Just bust out your cleaning products and use some elbow grease, either from your elbows or the actual product, because let me tell you, I know this is an art channel, but I recommend elbow grease, the cleaning product, a lot. Step number 2 is to go for a walk or exercise. I like to do this because it kind of shuts your mind off, gets you moving, releases endorphins, and makes you feel a lot better about yourself, especially if you have a sort of job, or you don't have a job where you are always in the house or you're always sitting down, and it can get really hard for you to feel like you want to do anything. You can get stuck in a rut of just wanting to sit down and do nothing, and it does weigh heavily on your mental and physical health. So getting out there for a walk, fresh air, just, you could either walk on your own and listen to nature and look at nature and get inspiration from it, or you could take your phone and have music playing. I would suggest not to go on social media during this time though, but just listen to music that gets you happy, maybe sing along to it, just forget that anybody else may be walking past and just enjoy yourself in this walk, and you will be sure to be refreshed and ready to create again. Step number 3 is to go for a bath or a shower. Now, this is a very niche thing, I think. I think a lot of people might feel the same way as me about this, or might not, but when I'm in a bath, especially, not so much a shower, but when I'm in a bath, I tend to obviously not have any social media around. There's no gadgets for me to distract myself. There's nothing there apart from you and water. So you have time to think, and it usually generates a lot of ideas for me. I tend to get a lot of ideas in the bath, and I also always say that I wish that I had a waterproof notebook or something that I can jot down ideas on, because it would be really handy for me to be able to do that. And that brings me on to my other point, which is switch off all devices and have quiet time. Just let your brain think, because a lot of the times we are browsing social media, we're watching programs on Netflix, we're editing videos, we're doing lots of things, we're talking to other people, and we don't have time to let our brain generate ideas and think about things. And it makes me feel so much better about being able to come up with ideas and just not having anything to distract me from doing this, and it definitely helps. So just let your brain think and just be quiet for a little bit. You might have to lock yourself somewhere if you have a family like I do. Obviously I have the privilege of spending a lot of time on my own because my partner works and my son goes to school, so I have plenty of time to do this, but obviously I have other things to do during the day. So just carve out time in your day to just have a little bit of quiet time. It doesn't have to be for long, it can be for 10-15 minutes, and just have a notebook near you if you want, but you don't have to. You can just think about things. Step number 5 is to soak up the creativity of others and get inspired. So just scroll Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, whatever social media you find your artists that you love on. Even maybe Google some artists that you've heard of, maybe classical artists or very famous artists. I think that there's a divide between the kind of artists that I take inspiration from. Usually they are all modern artists, and the way that in modern artists I mean is artists that post their art or sell things or create online. They don't really do the whole gallery thing. So the classical, non-modern, traditional artists are people like Van Gogh and things like that, or even media artists, people that make art for movies and TV shows and things like that. Those are different to me for some reason, but either way, whether it's a modern artist or a traditional classical artist, get inspiration from other artists. You could even go as far as just collecting a whole folder of people that you enjoy and making sure that you have the inspiration there for you to look at whenever you feel like it. Number 6 is a recent thing that I have decided to add into my way of creating art and resetting my creativity, and that is doing a draw this in your style. The challenge that has been going around on social media for a while now actually really helps with resetting my creativity, because I don't have to really think about concepts. I don't have to think about creating something original. I just need to take inspiration from somebody else's work and make it my own. And I think that this is a really good exercise to just boost your brain to be able to think about creative concepts. And I like to use draw this in your styles in a way that I look at the art and I'll take the concept and the pose maybe, or I'll just take the concept on its own and I will think about, if I came up with this concept, how would I draw it without looking at that person's work? But I do obviously want to make sure that people can recognise it between the works. So if there's a nice colour palette that I like, I'll use the colour palette but change everything else. If I like the pose, then I will use the pose but change the colour palette and everything else. If I like the actual concept itself, then I can change whatever I want or keep elements like the colour palette, the way that they portray their characters or whatever, and just explore that area of their work. And it really does bring about extra inspiration and make you want to make your own work, in my experience anyway. Just another extra note to add to this is that you could do other challenges that people have created. There are challenges like draw the outfit that you're currently in and show us your outfit, or well, that would be outfit of the day, right? You can draw yourself in the outfit that you are wearing, or you can do a mini challenge of maybe picking a theme and making artwork from that one theme. There's loads of things that you could do to do with challenges. Just Google art challenges and you might find a bunch of them, but I do recommend the draw this in your style and the outfit of the day ones. Step number 7 is to follow along with a tutorial of something that you want to learn in your creative endeavours. For instance, I really want to learn how to draw characters and environments, so I am doing a lot of Skillshare classes on how to create these things, and it is sparking up ideas of things that I want to draw in the back of my mind, and I just write those down while I'm doing the tutorials. It doesn't have to be Skillshare, it can be on YouTube or any other platform that you find tutorials on. But they are really helpful to boost creativity and also obviously improve your skills, because a lot of the time when we get down about our art or we are confused about what we want to do, it's because our skill level isn't up to where we want it, and practice makes better. So practicing things that you want to learn how to do in your artwork is a great way to boost your creativity. Number 8 is steal like an artist, and there is a book about this, but I think it's a very wide or well-known concept by now, that you take artists that you really like, and I would suggest doing this maybe 3 at a time or so. Just take artists that you like, find out exactly why you like them, draw something in the way that you would want to draw it, and then take elements from each of these individual artists and put it all together into one thing. This is a great way to find your style as well. You are basically mismatching your art with other people's art and squishing it all together to make something uniquely your own. And I really enjoy this part of learning how to do art. It just makes me feel really inspired and really motivated to make art, and it is really exciting to think that you can make something of your own, but it's not an original concept, if you get what I mean, because a lot of people think that if you can't come up with original ideas then you're not a real artist, but in reality a lot of things aren't actually original, because we take things from other things that are already existed. Did that sentence make sense? I think so. Like you look out into the world, and if you want to draw a tree, obviously that's not original because it's already in the world. And it's the same way if you want to draw something that another artist has came up with. Like if you come up with a concept, say you want to draw, I don't know, a girl sitting playing cards in her bedroom on her bed, and if you googled that you would probably see quite a few images of that. It's not an original concept, but you still came up with it and you can still make it your own. So just make sure you don't feel like you are unoriginal, because more than likely you are unoriginal, but it's fine. That's the way that the world works, and that's the way that art works in general. And a lot of people, non-artists, appreciate the kind of art that they can relate to and recognise. So if you create artwork out of a story that is very popular, then it is more than likely going to get more popular reactions towards the art. Number 9 is to do studies. And I don't mean just find a random picture and study it. I mean really think about what you want to do as an artist and where you want to go, and try and find artists that actually do that same work. Like if you want to be a children's book illustrator, then find children's books, buy books, or look at children's illustrations online, children's book illustrations online, and copy those. Do studies, and obviously you can add your own elements to it. You don't have to copy it exactly, but just learn things from copying other people's work. It's not cheating, it's not a horrible way to make art. It's just your brain trying to understand how other people stylize things and how other people draw things, and you can take those things or you can leave them. It just depends on how you feel about it and what you want to do with your own art. But doing studies, again, is sort of like draw this in your style and steal like an artist, where you are studying the work of somebody else, so you don't have to come up with concepts and ideas, and you're studying from references, so you are learning how that particular thing works. Just find lists online of things that you want to draw, even Inktober lists or just random lists that artists have put together themselves. You can really find great inspiration from those, and you don't have to do all of the list. Just say, I'm a little bit confused about what I want to draw today, I'm going to look at a couple of lists and see what sparks my interest. You could even combine numbers of the list, so you can do 3 or 4 things from the list or just one thing, and it really does help just boost your creativity and boost your ideas and make things your own. And number 10 is brainstorm. I find this really helpful just to get all the ideas out, because It's good to do this when you're drawing as well, just to draw the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of a certain subject. Let's say you think that you want to draw a pirate, right? So you're obviously gonna pick a pirate that has the hat and the eye patch and maybe even a stub leg or a hook hand. You're gonna think of very generic pirate things. So you need to get those ideas out first, and then you need to go on to other things that might make you think of a pirate. Beards. I know that's quite a generic thing as well, but you know what I mean. Just keep building on the ideas that come out your brain. And then what do beards make you think of? Beards make you think of muscly, grizzly men. So maybe make a huge pirate with loads of muscles and a big beard. And what do muscles make you think of? Maybe wrestlers, and then you could make a wrestler pirate and then have the pirate dressed in a wrestler costume rather than a pirate costume, but still have elements of the pirate there to make sure that people know what you're getting across. That's just a random idea that came to my head, but you could go in so much depth with it. And I like to just write down words. Like, I'll just think of anything, like a word that comes to my mind. The very first word that comes to my mind is window. Window, and then I'll write down window, and then I'll think, what does a window remind me of? A house. What does a house remind me of? Oh, maybe like a cabin in the woods. And then what does a cabin remind me of? It reminds me of the forest. And then what does the forest remind me of? It reminds me of mushrooms. And then just keep writing down random words, and then eventually you will come up with ideas that you want to implement into your artwork. I realise I've been talking in a very, I don't know, relaxing tone, I guess, or relaxed tone. I don't know if it was annoying to you because it was very monotone, but I think that that is it for this video. I just wanted to come on here and maybe give you some ideas. If you have any other ideas of things that helps you reset your creativity or gets you motivated and excited to draw and make you feel creative, then please put them in the comments below. I would love to hear your answers about that, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.